I promised the country on Tuesday that I was going to speak. I was going to release today policy directions pursuant to Article 245(4) of the Constitution of Kenya. I was going to issue a policy directive to the IG to make sure that we make it very clear from the Office of the Cabinet Secretary on behalf of the Government of Kenya and the Executive, and pursuant to constitutional provisions on how the police officers can manage use of firearm and use of force when carrying out their responsibilities, whether dealing with bandits here or dealing with criminals in urban areas or dealing with goons. The good news is today, this morning, I have dispatched the policy to the IG, and it will be shared to the public, giving various recommendations on how they can be able to use force, when they can use force, what is the prevailing legal framework, including incorporating decisions of the court insofar as matters of use of force is concerned. And I want to assure the country that this is the first policy directive I'm giving since I became CS nearly 8 months ago, and this is the only prevailing policy directive on use of force and use of firearm by police officers to either protect themselves and protect members of public, and also when dealing with and apprehending criminals. The policy will be shared officially with all of you, and the contents of that policy will then be cascaded down by the IG through the existing framework to ensure that this matter now, which has attracted a lot of public discourse in the recent past, especially after my visit to Dagoretti and Kikuyu police station, I thought it was necessary to put these policy directives in paper so that I can be held to account by the people of Kenya, and that now IG can have something to work on. People should stop this idea that I had directed IG in any way in the past. The only policy directive that is legally binding to the IG, and which can be properly debated by the people of Kenya, is the one that I have put in writing and in signature, and with my signature as required by the Constitution. When I came here as a CS roads, I promised that the road from Maralal to Baragoy will be done. And you know, the work of a CS is not his own personal work. It's for the government of Kenya, so it doesn't depend on the person who is sitting in office. And during my tenure, we did the design, and now we have moved. We have reached a stage where advertisement has been done. I can confidently tell the people of Samburu that this road will be done now under this administration. Hopefully, you know, the road construction takes 2 or 3 years, but as long as it begins this year, this calendar year, not this financial year, it will have begun. And we hope that beyond Baragoy, we can now look for other resources to move. Our intention is to make sure that it goes to North Hor and opens this corridor completely. That one will be done. Maybe where you can ask how long we will do the other security roads, it now depends on the resources we will discuss with the Ministry of Roads, and we will open the ones we will be able to open. The first part is the question of banditry, just like the other parts of k1ll Valley. We've just come from Turkana. We were in West Pokot yesterday. We are here in Samburu, and next week we'll be in Baringo and Elgeyo Marakwet. And as you know, this belt of k1ll Valley has a serious challenge of banditry. To be very honest, out of all these counties we have mentioned, this is the most, at the moment, the most affected county, where we still have serious challenges between Samburu County, Turkana, and Baringo County. And we still have quite significant a challenge in that corner, especially along the Malaso belt. And our main objective today is to see how we can better our strategies insofar as the operation is concerned, security operation. We have a few criminals who are still roaming around this that belt that I have spoken to, and many of whom are causing havoc between the two communities. There has been consistent stealing of livestock. Police officers in this operation area have tried their best to recover, and some of the recoveries have been successful, 100%, and others 50%. We are unlucky that in some of these instances we have lost lives. This is an area that also we have a serious challenge of highway robbery, particularly the road between here in Maralal up to Baragoi, and it is a challenge because of the situation within the roads where criminals have ambushed public service vehicles, police vehicles, vehicles carrying prisoners, and that has persisted for some time. The good news is that the government of Kenya is going to tarmac the road from Maralal to Baragoi. Already the tender has been advertised. We believe that the procurement process will be completed soon, and we expect that the contractor will be given the work, will start renovating the road ahead of works, ahead of the full tarmacking of this road. This poor infrastructure in Samburu is one of the greatest contributors towards insecurity, and it is the reason why there are safe havens for criminals in some of the parts, because they are inaccessible. There are no roads in most of these parts. If you go to Samburu East, for example, the reason why it's a safe haven, especially those areas of Lapendera, among others, is a safe haven for many of the criminals, because it's inaccessible for security operations. And going forward, we are going to be working together with the Ministry of Roads to make sure that security roads are improved. We already have a conversation on how we will do this, but the tarmacking of this road will make a significant difference in this area. Some of this livestock that is stolen, there are some markets here that they sell livestock to buyers who take it again to Nairobi and beyond. We have told our intelligence and security team to apprehend the buyers and target those buyers who are catalyzing this cattle rustling in this region. There is a massive proliferation of small arms here, of course, because of our porous border. You all know that we border just next door in Marsabit, we border Ethiopia, the border to Somalia is not far, the border to South Sudan is not far. The problem of Kerio Valley is the same. It's about porous border that makes it easy to access ammunitions and guns. And again, we will continue intensifying our operations and patrols across the our border with our neighbors to make sure that we get rid of these ammunitions. We are also going to have targeted operations to deal with the traffickers of guns and ammunitions. It's because of area coverage network for this area. Some of these areas are inaccessible in terms of communication. Already we have spoken to the Safaricom, Airtel, and other network operators. Particularly, we are working with Communication Authority of Kenya to see how we can get resources that will support these telecommunication companies to put in place communication networks that can help us access these places. There are land issues between communities internally, but also this county and the neighboring counties. Competition about boundary, invasion of areas for personal and for expansionist kind of interest that people have, that they could like to push the boundary between here and there. And as I said yesterday when I was in West Pokot, boundary issues persist across the country, and our recommendation already is towards having a multi-agency interministerial framework of locating the 1992 district boundaries, to make sure that it doesn't matter if you come from which community. If you are Samburu and you find yourself that your boundary takes you to Marsabit, then you are a Samburu in Marsabit, and there is nothing wrong with that. We just want to make sure that we identify the boundaries, not because we want our people to live apart from each other, but to avoid this conflict over resources and administrative boundaries that are causing conflict. And there is adjudication process happening in some parts of Samburu, and some of it also is causing jittery and conflict among the communities, and we will be also finding ways of ensuring that land adjudication is going to be done in a manner that will not cause conflict.